The first thing you need to do with your zipcaller account is connecting it to your existing phone system. Zipcaller will connect as a remote extension to your phone system, and using the SIP and RTP protocol, it will make phone calls using your own phone lines. This way, if your customers return the call to you, they will reach you directly and you can route these inbound calls as usual. So, how to register a phone system? We will click here on the register button. We will specify a name. For example, in this case, we will integrate zipcaller with the 3CX phone system. We select the model, for example, 3CX version 20 Linux. And for the host name or IP address, we will need to go here to the 3CX console and click Add User. With Add User, we will be creating an extension. We specify a name, zipcaller extension. Sorry. We go to the Options tab and we uncheck the Block Remote Non-Tunnel Connections. This is because we will be connecting remotely and not over a tunnel. And finally, we go to IP phone and we configure an IP phone. This is just to give the extension SIP credentials because in 3CX, when you create an extension, it will not have SIP credentials. It's only useful to connect with the 3CX clients. So this way we have credentials here. We will copy the host name and we will paste it here and we will select the region. For the region, you will see that zipcaller can connect from different points in the world. This is to reduce the latency. You should select the server that is closer to you. Uh, the IP addresses that you see here are the possible IP addresses from which zipcaller will connect. So if you need to enable the inbound traffic from zipcaller, you will need to enable these IP addresses in your firewall. This is usually not necessary because the phone systems are already configured to receive SIP and RTP traffic, for example, from the SIP trunk or from remote extensions. So these are usually already open, and in most cases it's not necessary. But if you have a more restrictive configuration, then you might need to enable these IP addresses. So we click Next, and we will specify a name here for the extension. For example, my extension. For the username, we need to select the extension number. We will copy it from here, paste it here. The authentication ID, we copy it from here, we paste it here. And the password, we will copy it here and we paste here. Next, we have this max simultaneous calls parameter. This allows us to limit the number of simultaneous calls that zipcaller will do on this extension. This is to avoid making more calls than what you want, so you can leave some calls from your 3CX license, for example, for other purposes, for your normal operation. For the transport, you can select UDP, TCP, or TLS. TLS is the encrypted transport. So if you need that the signaling of the calls to be encrypted, then you need to select TLS. Uh, and the audio of the call goes over RTP, so you have here secure RTP and you can enable or disable it. Something to keep in mind here is that if you will be enabling secure RTP, you need to go to the 3CX extension and on the Options tab, you need to ensure that the SRTP mode is enabled as well. Otherwise, you will not have audio in the call. We click Next, and the final option we have here is queue monitoring. If we want to enable queue monitoring, we do it from here. We will need to install a module as it's explained here. We have a zipcaller proxy module. This is only required if you will be running campaigns in predictive dialer mode. Predictive dialer mode lets you monitor in real time what's happening with your queues, and this way zipcaller can determine if it's the right moment to make a call or not, depending on if you have free agents or not, if you have calls waiting on the queue, etc. So this queue monitoring is only to run campaigns in predictive dialer mode. So we click register, and this way we have created here the phone system. You will see if you go to edit the phone system, you will see that you have only one extension. You can create additional extensions here. For example, we can use second extension. For the username, you specify the extension number 123, whatever. Well, all the information here to connect to a second extension. Okay, so why would you do that? Because, for example, you can configure for an extension the outbound caller ID. So you can run different campaigns using different extensions, and this way you can make calls using different caller IDs. Or that's one of the reasons, but there are others like selecting a different SIP trunk, um, well, for billing purposes. Well, there are different reasons for which you might need to run different campaigns using different extensions. So you can create all the extensions that you need here. There are no limits. Um, the only limit that we have is the number of phone systems that you can create. For example, here we have two phone systems. Uh, Depending on the plan you have, you may be able to create only one phone system, or two or three, sorry, if you are running the professional edition, or five if you are running the enterprise edition. Why would you need more than one phone system? Well, if your company has different branches in different countries and you have different phone systems in different countries or different places, well, this is something that you can do. Create one phone system for each of the phone systems that you have and connect with any of them, so you can run campaigns with both phone systems or with all the phone systems that you have. Finally, if you need to enable queue monitoring and you need to install this SIP caller proxy, uh, here in this section you have instructions. So how to install this proxy? If you click here show details, you will see the step-by-step guide what you need to do in order to install the proxy. Once the proxy is installed, you will see that the detected queues section has the queues here. So for example, here for FreePBX, I have two queues reported by the SIP-caller proxy. When you are running a campaign in predictive dialer mode using a specific queue, then SIP-caller will start showing here the status that is being reported in real time. Finally, in the list, you will see if the extension is registered or not. So this is useful information to know if your credentials are valid and the phone system is ready to make calls or not.